So if you could see this right here, the light's not really set up for this, but there's spots right here, here, here. They're kind of getting all over the place, and I don't like it, and I'm trying to see if I condition the boots, if that might help kind of subdue the darkness, because the whole boot we moisturized. I didn't want to use any of my existing products on the boots and potentially over darken them, so I figured I'd try an experiment. I got some leather from the buckle guy, probably heard of this, and they're actually selling Wickett Craig English Tan. It's not exactly the same color, you can see. It looks a little bit different. This is the English Tan Bridle. And then they have something called Carrot, which I kind of thought could maybe be the same thing, because these are pretty orange boots, but as you can tell, neither of them is a match. So if you look, I would say the Wickett Craig English Tan Bridle from Nicks, I kind of would think it's in between if you look at them. Neither of these is really a match, but it's obviously not the Carrot. This is interesting too, by the way. They paste these similar to those Richard Mason belts that are made of Herman oak leather, bridle leather. You can see this one's even, well actually maybe this one's not, I don't know if it's pasted, but it doesn't look as light and as kind of roughed up as the Wickett Craig that Nicks uses. So I'm not sure if it's just a batch variance or what, but this is like struck through. You can see like there's barely any of the gray. It's very orange. It's not the same color. It's kind of a neat color. But what I wanted to do to not kind of sacrifice my boots and overly darken them, like I mentioned, is try, so let me get this out of the way, is try the creams and the conditioners. So Venetian shoe cream's kind of my go-to. It's been my go-to. And then I have obviously the Obenauf's grease that Nicks provides, and then I recently picked up some Smith's, and I'm going to try putting some on each one and then kind of see what it does as far as darkening. And I guess probably go with the one I prefer the most, the least dark, because I really like this color how it is. Like this is a really nice color as it goes, but I don't like having all these discoloration spots. So I don't know, I was gonna probably do this one first, but I think I'm actually gonna just start with the English Tan, the buckle guy English Tan Bridle. It's not exactly the same color, and kind of go through each one. I don't know if this is coming out on the camera very well, but I have Venetian shoe cream, Obenauf, and Smith's. So I'm gonna go ahead and try the Venetian shoe cream first. And this is kind of how I do it on my boots. Just dab a little bit on the cloth here. So I'm not on the camera here. Put a little bit on the cloth. Put this back over here. I try to actually soak it in so it's not super saturated, and then I'll rub it in. And I will comment on something I noticed. I did a little bit of Venetian shoe cream on the belt, one of my belts, the Richard Mason belts, and it's like it doesn't do anything. It's almost like, maybe you can see it though. It's almost like it was not penetrating. It was sort of what it felt like. And I'm kind of getting that same vibe here. So it's kind of hard to see that. I don't really see anything going on. Let's try brushing it real quick. And it's like, you virtually can't see it. So that, if it's I guess if it's actually moisturizing and conditioning, this could be my go-to then. I might still do Venetian. I do it on all my chrome tan leathers. And I'll probably do it on my natural Dublin, Horween, Veg Tan, but I haven't yet. Those natural Dublins haven't been moisturized. I just brushed them. So here's some, what I'm pretty sure is just Obenauf's. You know what? Let's look at this, because it actually looks sort of similar. Yeah, they are different. So my Obenauf's that I have is really old and doesn't look like this anymore. It's kind of all mushed and darker, but this is definitely not the same thing. So I don't know how well this is coming out. The light's kind of not in the right place, but this is a yellower color. This is more of a clear. So pretty certain everybody's already confirmed that Nicks grease is just Obenauf's. But let's try a little bit of that. And I typically just apply it. Yeah, this is definitely Obenauf's, where it melts as soon as you touch it. So I'll put a little bit of that on. Let's see what this does. This should darken. I hate this stuff because it over darkens boots, in my opinion. But this is a sacrificial piece. That's pretty terrible. This is exactly why I don't use this stuff on boots. I mean, this is ridiculous how much it's discolored the leather, and it's kind of splotchy even. Let's try this. Yeah, so that's awful. I don't ever use this stuff. I have some dark boots that I beat the crap out of, and that's pretty much the only thing I use it on. So yeah, this is definitely not gonna ever touch my any of my Veg Tan boots. It's possible it'll dry a little bit in time, but yeah, that's no good. And the Venetian shoe cream, you can't even tell it even did anything. So I'll do the Smiths next. And the Smiths, I did use some a little bit on their pair of boots on the sole, and I noticed it doesn't, so you rub it, it doesn't melt and turn into mush like the Obenauf's does. It smells a lot different too. I forget it has lanolins, or here, I'll put it up to the camera. What did they have? Oh, the cocoa butter, that's different. And sweet almond oil, that's probably what I'm smelling. But this is definitely a different product. The Obenauf's is more about the wax, the beeswax, which this has too, but that's pretty good. It's definitely darkened it, so you can see, here, let me brush it to be consistent. That's not bad. It's darkened it a little bit, but I think it penetrated more than the, you can't even, it's hard to even see where the Venetian shoe cream even was, which makes me think maybe I'll try Venetian shoe cream on these boots first and just see if it even does anything, and then Smiths will be what I do next. It's definitely a little bit darker right there, but you can tell, I mean, this is just awful what the Obenauf's does. It totally discolors and kind of ruins it, in my opinion. Like, it's not even, the coloring there is not even consistent. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this stuff. I guess guys are like, the dark leathers or just don't care, they're work boot. It does really moisturize, but it ruins light leathers, in my opinion. It just makes them too dark. So that's kind of interesting. I have a feeling this one is so coated, we're not going to even see much, but let's try it anyway. I'm not going to bother. That guy's completely disqualified, so Obenauf's, you're out of the running. I'm not even going to bother. Let's just do the Smiths and the Venetian shoe cream. Yeah, I mean, depending on the light, like, it's hard to even see if it's doing anything. I'm not really sure what this carrot leather is about, and if there's some thicker coat, because it's definitely, like, the color is definitely all the way struck through it. Like I said, you can see on the side it's yellow, or orange rather, on the back. But yeah, I can't even really tell. There's some little spot there. I don't know if I just didn't apply it evenly. But let's try the Venetian shoe cream real quick. Again, I'll do a little dab. Kind of get it worked in, I guess. And then it's tough. It's like really hard to see if it's even doing anything. I almost feel like this leather, the Veg Tans from Wickett Craig, they almost have some coating on them that, like, doesn't allow these products to get into them. I can't really see anything. I don't know, in the camera you probably could see even less. But it's almost like the Venetian shoe cream doesn't do anything. It can't get through some outer layer of wax or something. I don't even know if it's wax. These feel like they're so boardy and almost like plasticky feeling. It's weird. They don't have the softness of like Chrome XL and even the natural Dublin. But look at that. That's freaking terrible. This is why you don't use Obenaufs. On a light leather that you care about, it literally destroys it. This is all discolored and dark and terrible. And you'd have to like really rub it in to evenly color it, darken it, but then it's too dark. Like the whole point of the leather is supposed to be nice and light. So yeah, I don't know what I've learned here. The Smiths does virtually nothing, so I'm not too concerned about darkening the leather. So that's good news. I guess that means this is the right product at least. And then Venetian shoe cream, I'm gonna try I guess first because it's not darkening it, and I guess I just question if it's doing anything at all. Because if it's not absorbing, then it's sort of pointless. It's not really conditioning. So yeah, figured you guys would have some interest in this, and then I'll go ahead and try these out.